Today I'm going to be building and testing over 20 satisfying and impossible looking things you can do with Lego. So anyway, let's go. This first Lego build I made is a car with square wheels. Yeah, you're probably confused where I'm going, but let me cook real quick, because it turns out there's a special road you can build which will actually allow the wheels to spin. I built this really bumpy road, but apparently it's supposed to actually help. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Holy crap, that is so satisfying. I did not expect that to actually work. Like the video if we should make cars like this. For this next Lego build, we're gonna need lots of gears. But these ones are special because they can actually interlock at different angles. So because of that, I'm gonna attempt to build an entire ball out of them. Okay, this thing looks cool, but it's gonna be even cooler if it works. So let's try it. Oh my gosh, that is so satisfying. This would make a great fidget toy if you're bored. Okay, I have this special cup that's actually designed to connect with Lego because it actually has Lego pieces surrounding it. So I went ahead and used it to make this special build, which makes the cup look like it's pouring water and floating. So to build the water pouring from the cup, I used these blue Lego pieces, and I found a way to put the cup on the top so it's balancing. Okay, on to the next build. Okay, now if you take a bunch of Lego bricks and stack them, you can twist them to build a giant spiral. So using this trick, I went ahead and built this satisfying giant sample of DNA, which uses these red bricks and these round bricks in different colors. Nice, this looks like something I'd see out of a science textbook. Another thing you can do with bricks is build a giant line out of them until it actually becomes flexible. Let's see if we can put it in a circle. Yes, let's freaking go. It actually works. This feels so illegal right now, guys. It also makes a nice piece of jewelry on my neck. For this next Lego build, you'll need lots of these special Technic pieces with holes, because if you crisscross a bunch of them together, you can build this satisfying springy thing. Nice, this reminds me of those lifts they use in construction. This next Lego build looks like a boring square, but if you pull up on the very middle, it magically turns into a giant pyramid. So to build it, I made squares in different sizes that all connect and slide together. For this Lego build, I made a giant cube, but inside the cube are other cubes. So basically, it seems to never end. I also built this Lego cube, but it's special because it uses hinges to actually rotate and turn into different shapes. But no matter how many times you rotate it, it will always turn back into a cube. So basically, it goes in an infinite loop. Wow, it literally doesn't end, guys. It feels like an unskippable ad. This next Lego build is impossible, but in a different way, because it's impossible to take apart. Both of these red pieces hold this orange piece in, and I literally can't remove them. Okay, now Lego makes these special plates, which are triangles. So using enough of these pieces, I went ahead and built an entire ball out of them, which has 20 sides on it. Let's see if we can use this as a basketball. Alright, here we go. Bruh. Oh shoot. Crap. Forgot I can't do that. For this next interesting build, we're gonna make some custom Lego art. So I went ahead and added different colors of Lego to this base plate in different lengths, which make it look like paint that's dripping down a canvas. And if you ever build something like this, it'll make a great piece of art in your room. Another thing you can do with Lego is create interesting 3D shapes, like this one, which I made out of pentagons, to create this interesting 20-sided ball. Nice, this would make a great decoration for my room. You can even build some simpler shapes, like this tiny pyramid. This next impossible looking Lego build is actually a single piece that my friend 3D printed, and it's this giant ball that has studs surrounding it, which means you can actually connect Lego to it. Also, this confuses my brain. For this next build, you can take 6 tiny plates and you can fit them between each other to build this interesting looking shape, which looks like some fancy expensive piece of art. It's also illegal, so just watch out for the cops. Now, something cool you can do with Lego is make certain items look like they're melting. For example, I made this minifigure look like it's melting, and to do it, I used these smooth tiles. I even used that technique to build this chocolate bar, which looks like it's melting. Mr. Beast would not approve of this. Nope. This next Lego build is going to require some very genius engineering, and it's this very interesting rotating L-shaped mechanism. Apparently, this is supposed to actually turn, so let's try it. Wow, whoever invented this needs to be accepted into Harvard. For these next few builds, we're gonna look at simple illusions you can make with Lego, like this one I made from black and white bricks to create this interesting, confusing pattern. I feel like I'm gonna get a headache looking at this. I also built this illusion, which uses black and white checkers that are separated into rows by these thin lines, but if you look closely, you'll notice the lines for some reason don't look straight. So if you have OCD, I'd suggest that you look away right now. I also built this Lego triangle that seems to connect in an endless loop and looks extremely illegal, but before you call the cops, it turns out that it only looks that way because the angle you're looking at it from. I even did the same thing with this Lego staircase, which seems to infinitely go up. So if you're a Lego minifigure, never use these stairs. But it turns out it's actually not connected at all, but they appear to be depending on how you look at them. This next Lego build is a sign that says no, but if you look at it from a different angle, it will say yes.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
And it's actually a really simple trick to do this because I actually hid certain letters behind other letters. That way you can't actually see it. For this next Lego build, I made this wall full of Lego bricks that look like they're magically floating. And nope, I'm not using hacks because it turns out I use these special clear pieces that hold the bricks at a certain angle. Nice. This looks like an expensive piece of art that I'd see in a museum. I also made this floating Lego build, which uses tiny squares to create this satisfying shape. But if you turn it around, you'll notice I actually use transparent pieces behind the build to hold them up. For this next Lego build, I made a cube and a ball that appeared to be magically glitching through each other. And it looks super confusing, but it turns out I actually built part of the cube around the ball. Another Lego build I made is this confusing looking cube that appears to be floating, and the edges don't seem connected. But it turns out I actually made it from one single piece that's built at different angles. This next idea is going to require a minifigure, because if you stack a bunch of tiny plates, you can then put it behind the minifigure to make it look like it's running extremely fast. Like the video if you think this guy should compete in the Olympics. Another thing you can do with minifigures is make them shrink. But it turns out to do this, I just move the person back, which makes them look smaller. For this next Lego build, we're gonna need a lot of these special bricks that have studs on the side, because I use them to build this giant Lego cube that will allow us to build in any direction we could possibly want. So using this, I made an impossible looking cube that appears to be made from different layers that are floating, and they appear to get bigger as you move outward. And now, for this final Lego trick, you'll need a Lego net piece, because you can use it to make this satisfying Lego build that is actually flexible and can bend. So now that we've discovered this trick, I'm gonna combine every Lego net that I own to build one giant flexible surface in Lego. Okay, this took forever to build, so this better work. Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow, that was actually worth it. This looks like that one fish from Finding Nemo. So using this build, I made a small Lego ocean where we can simulate realistic waves. Okay, now time to simulate a tsunami. Nice. Comment your favorite Lego build. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Nope.
Purple studs in my bank account, run up the digits, counting up the Lego money like Lord business. Always with my minifigs, I'm with the crew, master spins jitsu, call me says say woo.